Good afternoon. It's my privilege to welcome you to Pella's 87th Annual Tulip Festival. Our theme for 2022 is Parades, Petals, and Opportunities. We're delighted to celebrate a full Tulip Time with you all this year. Isn't it wonderful to have parades again? In 1847, Hendrik Peter Stolte and his followers founded Pella. For this group of Dutch immigrants, Pella was a city of refuge where they could worship freely. Faith was the primary motivator in their lives. Today we give thanks for the legacy our founders created. The Pella Tulip Time Festival is brought to you by the Pella Historical Society and Museum. This is a non-profit organization supported by the generosity of donors and volunteers. You can find the Tulip Time schedule and much more information about the Pella Historical Society on their website, pellahistorical.org. For regular Tulip Time updates, you can also follow them on Facebook. Thank you for joining us at this year's festival. We hope you enjoy your experience. Back in the 1600s, most people could not read, so a town crier was appointed to read the news to people. With his distinctive attire and the loud clanging of his bell, the town crier would call the people together for town meetings, announce arrivals and dignitaries, and even sell special goods and wares. Calvin Bonkoven, who followed in his father's footsteps, is celebrating his 21st year as our town crier. His dad, too, served as town crier for 20 years. Please thank the Pella Police, the Marion County Sheriff's Office, and the Iowa State Patrol for all their assistance during our festival. Representing the Police Department is Officer Cody Bruce, the Marion County Sheriff's Guard Chief Deputy Troy Fisher, and in the Iowa State Patrol Car, Trooper Darren Flaherty. Please stand to honor the colors presented by Pella Boy Scout Troop 373. The Boy Scouts of America was founded in 1910 and consists of 2.4 million youth participants and nearly 1 million adult volunteers. Scouting provides youth training in character, citizenship, and mental and personal fitness to help youth become responsible, self-reliant citizens. Watch for scouts in your community practicing their motto, "Be prepared," and their slogan, "Do a good turn daily." Today is the Pella Community High School Marching Dutch under the direction of Damian Place, Gabe Schott, Jeff Royard, Sam Dow, and Rachel Berg. Drum majors for Marching Dutch are Sam Buchelman, Joey Ecoff, Elizabeth Pumphrey, and Stephen Noel. The rifle captain is Paige Berkland, and flag captains are Kayla Kurt and Kaylee Dix. The Marching Dutch, a proud tradition of excellence that spans more than 50 years. This year they're honored to represent the community of Pella and the state of Iowa in the 134th Tournament of Roses Parade presented by Honda. This marks the third appearance of the Marching Dutch, the only school in Iowa to receive this honor 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marching Dutch. Dave's honor, presenting the flag are Lucas Patton and Will Monson, who are both great-great-great-great-grandsons of Dominique Stolte. The city of Pella crest, adopted by the City Council in 1985, was designed in commemoration of Pella's 50th Tulip Time. The crest features Stolte's stationary insignia, an eagle, as well as his church, which was built on West 1st Street and is replicated at the Historical Museum. Carrying the banner announcing our Tulip Queen's arrival are pages Ellie Wiscus and Camille Vanderloop. Ellie is the daughter of Jessica and Bailey Wiscus, and Camille is the daughter of Shay and Chad Vanderloop. Both attend Jefferson Elementary School. Our 2022 Tulip Festival Queen is Miss Sarah Gritters. Sarah is the daughter of Matt and Kim Gritters and is a senior at Pella Christian High School. Riding with Queen Sarah are her flower girls, Amelia Beekhuizen and Nora Zanting. Amelia is the daughter of Katie and Greg Beekhuizen, and Nora is the daughter of Janine and Jordan Zanting. Queen Sarah and her royal court are wearing costumes typically worn around 1900 in the village of Catwhite in the province of South Holland. In our next carriage, wave hello to Queen Sarah's royal court, which includes Kelly Dykema, daughter of Matt and Jamie Dykema, Emily Buckingham, daughter of Matt and Joy Buckingham, Ashley Udemark, daughter of Brad and Deb Udemark, and Trinity Voss, daughter of Dale and Jen Voss. The Queen and her court are all seniors at Pella Christian High School, Pella Community High School, or home school. Queen Sarah and her royal court have made numerous appearances over the last several months promoting Pella at our Tulip Time Festival. Our 2022 Royal Court members are riding in Victorian carriages that were a gift from Marion County Bank and decorated by Shelley Sarver. Please show these amazing young women your appreciation. The riders on our welcome float welcome you and ask you to join them in celebrating Tulip Time. Riding the float this afternoon are representatives of Light and State Bank, the sponsor for the welcome float. We thank them for their generous support. This float features authentic models of 5 distinct windmill styles, each designed for a specific task. The windmill illustrates the ingenuity and determination with which our Dutch ancestors battled the sea and wind. On the float you'll see examples of a city water mill, 2 examples of drainage wheels used in reclaiming land from the sea, a lumber mill, and a windmill used for grinding grain. The welcome float is donated by Premier Corporation and is sponsored and maintained by Light and State Bank. Next up is Iowa's reigning Miss Amazing Teen, Ellie Wiscus. Ellie is the daughter of Mark and Christine Wiscus. She won this honor in January and will be competing at the national level this summer in Nashville. The Miss Amazing pageant is designed to celebrate the unique gifts and qualities of girls and women with disabilities. Ellie graduated from Pella High in 2021 and currently is the Pella High School Forte dance team manager. She works at Hy-Vee, participates in Special Olympics, participated in the formation of the Kiwanis Weathersfield Inclusive Playground, and volunteers in her spare time. Ellie would like to thank the Pella community, all her friends and family for supporting her with encouragement. Our next entry is the Washington Middle School Band from Washington, Iowa. Earp as its new marshal. Nicholas is the father of Wyatt Earp, the most famous marshal and gunfighter in American Western history. Here we see Wyatt and his brothers Virgil, James, and Morgan, who were made famous with the gunfight at the OK Corral in Tucson, Arizona in 1881. The boyhood home of Wyatt Earp is located in the Pella Historical Village near the Premier Windmill. It was recently renovated and is a can't-miss stop during Tulip Time. Well, Tulip Time is filled with traditions, and one of our favorite traditions is the Maiden Parade. What greater treasure can we show you than our youngest citizens decked out in their tiny Dutch outfits? Many of these costumes have been handed down from generation to generation. Many families reunite during the festival, and this part of the parade is one of their favorite meeting places. A lot of faith for these youngest citizens to pass. A few things you can look forward to the rest of the day. You can take a community tour of Pella. The narrator will accompany you on this tour, pointing out Pella's highlights and historic points of interest. Those tours run from 4 to 6 this evening. Admission is $8 for adults and $5 for youth under 18. The Sculpting House is the original home of Domini H.P. Sculpting, the founder of Pella. Located behind the house are the Sculpting Gardens, featuring 2 life-size bronze statues among 30,000 tulips. Carve-offs will love the antique cars on display Liberty Street between Main and Broadway from 8:30 to 7:30. And if you enjoy quilting, our quilt show features quilts from the Pella area quilt guild and is hosted by guild members. It's located on the 2nd floor of the community center, and it's open from 10 to 6 p.m. daily. Admission is $5. Street vendor carts and open markets are the traditional ways of shopping. Our next entry is the Blooming Walk. Beautiful flowers are popular around the world, and especially in Pella and Tulip Time. This flower cart is laden with many varieties of tulips and other flowers. Our family of flower peddlers are looking for someone who would like a flower, but you don't need any money to get one. All it takes is a polite wave and a kind word, and they will do their best to come to you. Another Dutch tradition is the plantain, or vegetable cart. It's loaded with fresh harvested vegetables straight from the garden. Typically located in the back of the house gardens and tended by the men, these are sold door to door or at the Central Village Market. And here comes hundreds of Pella school children dressed in the traditional garb of the Netherlands. Led by Principal Ben Dirksen, Pella Christian Grade School is a preschool through 8th grade Christian school with a mission of challenging students to develop their gifts for a life of service in God's kingdom. It serves over 540 children. Pella Christian Grade School is a bilingual school that offers families an English or Spanish track. The school-wide storyline based on Psalm 77, 11, and 12 is Take Flight or Como Vuela. Students are encouraged to rise higher, fly together, and soar in Christ. Led by Superintendent Greg Evelyn, the principals John Stedham, Brian Miller, and Margaret Kirkwood are the children and staff of Pella Community Schools. Greg is carrying a wooden clapper that was used to call children to school in the Netherlands. The academic arts and athletic programs of Pella Community Schools are consistently recognized as the best in the state and the nation. We also have students of all small school programs and a Christian support group in the Pella area for over 100 families from homeschool. Their mission is to encourage and equip families to fulfill God's commands in educating children. And as a treat today, we'd like to have the children sing a song for you. We are happy to share with you the colorful flags of each province in the Netherlands. The Netherlands is divided into 12 provinces. Some of the flag bearers are wearing the costume and carrying the flag of the province from which their ancestors immigrated. Did you know that 26% of the land in the Netherlands is below sea level? In fact, if it weren't for their use of dikes, dunes, and pumps, 65% of the country would be underwater at high tide. This unique round float is one of our traditional entries, which is known as the Parade of Provinces float. It's a revolving platform of Dutch ladies dressed in authentic costumes representing the dress of a particular province in the Netherlands. Many of these costumes have been imported directly from Holland. Others are skillfully tailored by seamstresses in Pella. Authenticity is their goal, using original patterns from Holland. We thank U.S. Bank for its support of this float. Inspecting our streets for the street cleaners comes Pella's mayor, Don DeWard. He's followed by Pella's city council members. Don and the entire city staff would like to thank you for joining us in the celebration of our heritage. Joining the mayor this afternoon is his special guest, Ethan Banstreck. And here are some of the members of the Pella City Council. Like all of us, our council is proud of our city and appreciates your attendance at this year's Tulip Time Festival. Council members include Mark DeYoung, Liz Sporer, Lynn Branderhorst, Calvin Banstra, Spencer Carlstone, and Dave Hopkins. us today are Queen Naomi Melema and her royal court, including Merritt Beatty, Chloe Bilby, Kate Hummel, and Kate Vanderwerf. They're all seniors at either MOC Floyd Valley or Unity Christian High Schools. The costumes they are wearing are from the province of Drenthe, which is located in the northeast part of the Netherlands. Their costume represents the typical Sunday and special occasion dress of the 1800s.
Yeah. Because yeah, I found it.
Our next entry is the Parisian Farmer Fantasy Float. The cow on this float is painted in the traditional Hindelopen style by local artist Sally DeRouche. This float was created in 2000 to help celebrate the 500th anniversary of Friesland, a province in the Netherlands. It was donated by the John and Dewey Vinstra families and is sponsored by Lely North America, which is based here in Pella. One, two, three, and four. It's a bicycle built for 3 plus 1 more. This bicycle is one of fewer than 30 that were built by the Schwinn Company during the 50s. These bikes were ordered by a school for the blind and would accommodate one sighted rider with 2 blind riders. Today, 3 generations of Andoig family continued the tradition of riding the tandem in the Tulip Time Parade, some of whom began their journey in the 4th seat. The milk cart is coming. This cart would have traveled door to door to sell milk. Can you imagine the thumping of the wheels on the brick streets along the canals and the animated bartering going on between the buyers and the sellers? These milk cans are from the old Lover's Dairy of Pella. The Dutch are famous for their chocolate, even enjoying it spread on their toasted bread for breakfast. In Dutch, it's called hagelslag. Brilliant red, blue, and yellow colors of the cart will attract more hungry customers. Look for the chocolate candy molds hanging on the cart that are shaped like a Dutch boy and girl and the copper melting pot. This cart was designed and built by Pella Corporation employees in 1995 to commemorate their company's 70th anniversary. Well, like other immigrants of her day, Maria Scolti packed everything she would need in large wooden crates, including her precious Delft tea set. Unfortunately, the trip was not kind to the fragile dishes, and most arrived broken into many pieces. Just as the dishes were broken, so was Maria's heart. This float pays tribute to Maria and is dedicated to the memory of Kathy Manstrom. By the earliest European immigrants who came to Pella. Pella is named for the city in which Christians found refuge in the 1st century. Wildwood Hills Ranch and Pizza Ranch have teamed up to provide refuge to Iowa's most vulnerable youth and veterans by providing life-changing programs and equine therapy. In the 1800s, the Burgemeester was the title of the mayor of Dutch communities. In present-day Pella, the Burgemeester is the honorary mayor of Pella for the 3 days of Tulip Time. When asked about his thoughts on being mayor during Tulip Time, our Burgemeester, Randy Sickma, says that 3 days as mayor is just about right. The Dutch are known as outstanding cheesemaker, and this is how they carried their cheese at markets for 3.5 centuries. Our cheese vendors are costumed according to tradition, with clothing topped by lacquered straw hats. The color of their Dutch gilt, the equivalent of blue. Dutch hospitality will result in plenty of samples being given out. Imagine these two explaining to their wives why they remove their guilt after advanced time. Our samples are donated by Parisian farms. Following the Verdemeester are the future Verdemeesters of our community. These handsome young guys are auditioning to become the honorary mayor of Pella's Tulip Time Festival one day. Please let them know what a good job they're doing. Team wishes you a Tulip Time full of parades, petals, and flowers. celebration of Dutch heritage under the direction of Jeff Willard, their drum major has been around. Today they perform Shining. Tulip Time, many return from around the country and are reacquainted with family and their royal attendants. Several former Tulip queens live here and bless our community with various forms of service. Please greet them with your best royal wave. Costumes, crowns, and carriages are in the dreams of many little girls, and perhaps one of these kindergartners riding on our next entry is a future Tulip Time queen or a member of her royal court. Our chimney sweep wears the traditional top hat and tails and carries the tools of his trade as he pedals along from house to house. Dutch chimney sweeps use a heavy rope to pull themselves up the steep sides of the homes to reach the chimneys. Our chimney sweep rides this year in honor of Tim Sadler. Well, here comes the Scharenschleifer, one of our oldest entries in the parade. The scissors sharpener was a peddler that went from house to house, sharpening scissors to make a living. This cart was originally pushed for over 60 years by Rudy Ulrich. This year, following in the footsteps of Chuck Vanderwall, Rob Boss is just our third sharpener. And the ice skate sharpener cart is here. Children and adults enjoy ice skating on the charming canals in the Netherlands. This unique cart can supply all your needs. Sharpen your skates, provide a warm cap or scarf, or even dispense some hot chocolate. Delightful Dutch murals tracing the sides of the cart were conceived and painted by Darlene Klosterman, a talented Pella artist. Recently renovated from top to bottom, the muscle cart float includes an authentic replica of a cart from Katwijk, Netherlands. Horse-drawn carts like this one aided Dutch fishermen as they were hauling in their nets full of mussels and clams. The Well Resource Center recently celebrated its 10th year of loving and serving the Pella community. It exists to combine the love of Jesus, the help of our communities, and the strength that each person can find in their life. Riding the muscle float today are staff and kids at the Pella location. The Well now serves both the communities of Knoxville and Fairfield in addition to Pella, and is growing to communities who have momentum to join the mission of offering hope and help. Muscle float was donated for Tulip Time parades by Heritage Lace and Pella. Well, if you have any aches and pains that need to be tended to, you might want to contact our snake oil doctor, Jeremiah Honeycutt. He's got just the potion you need to feel better. This traveling medicine wagon is a replica of those that set up in Pella's West Market Park in the late 1800s, selling wares of all kinds. You can find the Dutch flea market set up in the same location just 2 blocks west of the square. Thank Blue Hill Carriage of Newton, Iowa for providing horses and coachmen for our parades. Proud to present a tradition of strong academics and extracurricular activities. Teachers and staff work with love as they pursue excellence, build caring relationships, and develop every child's potential. The Little Brick Schoolhouse represents Park School, our town's first school dating back to 1855. The Community Preschool Float has students and staff from both Madison and Lincoln school programs. Students that are 4 years old can attend this free half-day program at Pella School. Today up this long hill are from Parade Christian School, located 8 miles northeast of Pella. The costumes they're wearing are from the village of Staphorst in the province of Overijssel. Parade Christian School has been teaching Christian education since 1907, and they continue to teach children a biblical worldview with an emphasis on classical education and personalized learning. Tulip Time Festival, over 350,000 tulip bulbs are planted in Pella every year. Over 150,000 visitors will visit Pella during normal Tulip Time. The festival requires over 1,000 volunteers working year-round to make the festival happen. And the steering committee meets year-round and will hold their first meeting next week for next year's event. The wooden shoemaker is busy carving wooden shoes, trying to keep ahead of demand. He guarantees his work. No knots, no squeaks, and no nails. Maybe no toenails if they don't fit properly. Our shoemaker will gladly remove just the right amount of wood from the inside of the shoe for a perfect fit. During Tulip Time, you can see the wooden shoemaker at work at the wooden shoe building on the grounds of the Pella Historical Village. Timmerman cart was built to honor carpenters and the building trades in the Pella area.
Oh, I see a tree.
The cart is filled with tools from the time of Pella's founding in 1847. Timmerman is Dutch for carpenter. This pink cart, donated by Pella Corporation, was a popular street vendor cart found in the Netherlands. Dutch boys pride themselves in keeping their houses in excellent condition. Popular colors such as dark green, orange, yellow, and blue are used to brighten the gloomy days brought about by the rainy maritime climate. In 1864, the Des Moines Valley Railroad was completed through Pella. As a result, the city of Pella became prosperous. It began its history of generosity in giving time and resources. Riding the float this afternoon are representatives of Hearthstone, Ministry of Wesley Life. Hearthstone is a 5-star community providing Pella's most complete network of living options and services for older adults. It offers independent living, assisted living, memory support, short-term rehabilitation, and long-term care. In conjunction with Crossroads of Pella, this entry was renovated in 2018 and is sponsored by Parade Pella IA. Today, we wish to honor the many nonprofits supported by the community of Pella, some of whom are riding this float today. Please let them know how much you appreciate their work. The skate pole is a common way for children to learn to skate in the Netherlands. Here we have some local kids adapting an ice skate pole for parade use. It's Dutch ingenuity on display. The Pella Public Library Book Bike is a bookmobile on a bike. Library staff can create a pop-up library where they can ride. Pella's first library was founded by Dominique Stolte in 1855 and had only 4 members. Our library has grown since then. There are now over 13,000 members. The Dutch go pretty much everywhere on their bikes, and now our library can too. Heartland Reformed Church is happy to welcome all of our visitors back to a Tulip Time that once again includes parades. Isn't it wonderful to be able to gather together again? We encourage you to make time to see all the beautiful tulips around Pella. God is good. We hope that you celebrate all of God's spring blessings and that you have a wonderful time this weekend. Well, here comes the bologna cart, a perfect partner to the cheese vendor. Pella bologna was first produced here in 1868 by Dutch immigrant John Lorek, more than 150 years ago. In 1941, Klaus Infeld opened his own market. Both businesses are still going strong today. In addition to bologna, at either store you can find meat sticks, dried meat, bratwurst, smoked meats, and a variety of imported cheese. And speaking of cheese, the Koss wagon could be seen on the streets of the Netherlands going door to door selling cheese, butter, and eggs. Dairy products are some of the leading exports of the Netherlands because of the flat land, which is perfect for grazing dairy. The Hawkeye Council of the Calvinist Cadet Corps would again like to welcome you to Pella. The cadets have had another busy year with many activities including camping, hiking, canoeing, and building and racing Pinewood derby cars. Both boys and counselors have been working on their camping skills as they prepare for the 5-day Midwest Regional Camp Parade to be held at Lake Wapello Camp near Drakesville, Iowa. The Calvinist Cadet Corps has over 600 clubs throughout the U.S., Canada, and Africa, with almost 12,000 boys participating. The Perkins Wagon Company existed in Pella from 1865 until 1957 when the factory was destroyed by a fire. Featured on the wagon is a scale replica of the 1843 tow cabin. The real full-size tow cabin is located at 608 Lincoln Street. Next to the tunnel block home, you'll find the tunnel learning block, an adventure in Pella's history. Be sure not to miss it. The tunnel log home is considered the birthplace of Pella. It's Golden purchased this homestead and surrounding land for Thomas and Nancy Tuttle to establish downtown Pella. Hendrick, Peter, and Maria School led a group of roughly 800 souls to the the Netherlands. This followed many years of persecution by the Dutch government for refusing to accept its faith-related directives. Always a man who acted upon his Christian faith, Tulip became a leading opponent of slavery. He was also instrumental in the nomination of Abraham Lincoln for president in 1860. Dominique Schulte and Abraham Lincoln developed a close friendship through their shared commitment to the anti-slavery movement. Schulte played an important role in the nomination of Lincoln as candidate for the presidency while serving as a vice president at the Republican National Convention of 1860. Lincoln referred to his friend and supporter as his Dutch friend. The Christian Opportunity Center welcomes you to this year's Tulip Time Festival. COC provides vocational, residential, and spiritual services in Marion, Mahaska, Warren, and Polk counties. COC staff are dedicated to its mission of empowering individuals with disabilities to realize their full potential. Community and Economic Alliance, or PACE, is proud to recognize the efforts of our members who have made a significant impact on the community with the Pella Impact Award. Honorees are selected for their overall impact to the quality of life in Pella, innovative programs, entrepreneurial spirit, impact to the local economy, and longevity of impact on the community. This year, PACE presented the Business Impact Award to Work Smart Connector, a pilot program that was developed here in Pella and has been expanding throughout the state. This organization addresses the modern-day challenges of workforce growth and development in our communities. Congratulations to Work Smart Connector on being awarded the 2021 PACE Alliance Business Impact Award. And congratulations to Pella Kiwanis Club on being awarded the 2021 PACE Alliance Community Impact Award. Discover the Wonderspiel Playground at this location on the North Main Street in Kiwanis Park. Our next band is the 45-member Washington High School Marching Team and Nation. They're happy to be back in Pella for another year. Their director is Don Hughes, and they're led today by Brooke Majors, Mateo Salazar, and Bailey Reese. Please know that we appreciate you Take a look at this. Our Dutch designers have been busy calculating and crafting a Dutch village made entirely of building blocks. This Dutch designer's dreamland has been revitalized. From the windmill to the water, the flowers to the storefronts, this community is filled with creativity and color. The town was built by generations of dedication from the community and the career team. And just like the city it's modeled after, the town welcomes you to experience This Dutch village requires maintenance on a regular basis, following the flow through the premier job buddies who are on the job to help. Leading the pack is our newest job buddy. Everyone wave to the first self-propelled baler, Zippy the ZR5. Running just ahead of Zippy is Tony the tractor, Holy Scott the step cutter, followed by Susie skid steer. That's followed by Terry the terrain leveler. These characters represent more than 220 products manufactured. Thanks to the crew for getting tough work done in our Dutch village and around the world. More color to Tulip Time than the street scrubbers, all decked out in their authentic Dutch costumes. There's Mom with a broom in hand and Dad with two big buckets and a yoke on his shoulders. These folks make Dutch clean a reality before each parade, making sure Franklin Street is spotless.
Good job.
Pella Christian High School Eagles welcome you to Pella. With God's Word at the center, these students rise higher in their academics, fly together as a community, and soar in Christ as they serve in God's world. Take flight at Pella Christian Schools. This Plumpet vendor cart was very typical of the vendor carts used in Holland to sell wooden shoes. Bright colors were used to catch the attention of the people passing by. Wooden shoes, often called clogs, were worn due to the damp conditions in the Netherlands. Well-worn klompen became little boats children floated on the networks of canals in Holland. We also have the broom peddler carts. The Dutch are known for their cleanliness and need many different kinds of brooms. There's even a happy little Dutch tune entitled The Basin featuring the broom. If some of you remember the old Dutch cleanser, the logo featured a Dutch woman with an upraised basin of a broom chasing away the dirt. Our next float is based on the Dutch story, The Boy Who Held Back the Sea. This entry was constructed by the Tulip Time Steering Committee, along with several volunteers, and features a young Dutch hero stopping quick in the dike. The float also displays an authentic sluice gate. And all the way from Sioux County, Iowa, please welcome the Orange City Christian Tiger Marching Band. The 96-member ensemble is under the direction of Kim Isaac and is led by drum majors Maya Scheidemann and Emily Ford. Flag and baton coached by Kim Isaac, Ariana Lemana, Maddie Morgan, and Tyra Mishkoa. This afternoon they'll perform I Am the Tiger. Please give them an enthusiastic Pella welcome. Pella Duchesses are ambassadors of Pella who travel the area singing and dancing to entertain and promote Pella. Here are some of the 16 high school girls dressed in authentic costumes representing various provinces and cities in the Netherlands. These girls have performed for tour groups that visit Pella on family reunions, banquets, elementary schools, nursing homes, and in shopping malls. You can see the Duchesses perform each day of Tulip Time at Central Park and at the Vermeer Mill, as well as on the Tulip Torn each afternoon. Our parade features several floats that display a variety of beautiful Dutch costumes. Many cities and towns have their own distinctive style of dress. These ladies are wearing the authentic costumes of several villages that are as colorful and beautiful as the tulips from the Netherlands. Villages represented may include Marken, Buurt, Hindelopen, Walcheren, Ramschoten, Volendam, Stockmores, and Thijssen. And here is the kippenverkoper, or chicken peddler. Back in the day, you didn't have to go to some high-priced boutique grocery mega market for fresh farm-raised organic chicken. It was a custom in Holland for the chicken peddler to go from house to house and sell his chickens door to door. Well, it's time to take a ride on the wooden shoe train. Who wouldn't want to? Sponsored by Pella Motors and built with the help of LDJ Manufacturing. Each car was crafted from solid wood. These shoes were hand-painted by local artist Darlene Wallengau, who has mastered the Hindelopen style. Wave to all the kids as they pass by. Well, kids, you better be on your best behavior. Sinterklaas has come to town. Sinterklaas, the Dutch counterpart of Santa Claus, travels in a Spanish galleon and arrives in Holland on December 6th. He leaves gifts in the wooden shoes of good Dutch children and a lump of coal for those who have been bad. Each November, the Pella Historical Society sponsors Sinterklaas Day with a parade that features this float and a party for children. We thank all of you for their sponsorship. The Fire Department is proud to present Pella's first piece of motorized fire equipment, 1922 American Bronze Fire Engine. This special float features the largest tulip you'll see during your visit to Pella. The large yellow tulip opens to reveal a magical carriage carrying young festival attendants. Gold Tulip Lane is lined with wooden tulips, which are replicas of those constructed for the very first tulip festival in 1934.